I'm 23 years old, and I'm not exactly old or anything, that's still pretty young. I have my whole life ahead of me still, but I'm at that age, or, at least at that point in my life where I'm not as in tune with what the younger kids are up to these days. And I'm 50-50 on how I feel about that because, like, on one side, I'm okay with being out of touch on some things. Like, I don't think I want to be in tune with 16 and 17-year-olds. I don't know, I think that's a little cringe. I'm a grown-ass man. Why am I concerned of keeping up with them? But on the other hand of that, I'm seeing jokes and trends now where I'm curious because to these people, it's hilarious and it's obviously a popular meme or trend because I'm seeing it everywhere, but I'm feeling more annoyed at it than I am amused. Like, I don't see the funny in it. Like, can someone show me the funny? Like, it just makes me mad since I'm not laughing. It's just annoying. But tangent aside, this video is basically me at this current stage right now, age 23, tail end of college, almost wrapping up, looking at the state of our world, not in a political sense, but like, I don't know how to describe it, but I just want to talk about what I've been seeing going on, all right, with kids now. And when I say kids, I mean mainly high schoolers and I guess a little younger, and just how the education system is in general and how absolutely chalked it is. Like, I'm talking cooked. And it's not just about what I see on TikTok, right? As crazy as it is to say, but I'm at the age where me and my friends, we all have big people jobs. We got grown-up jobs now. So I have friends who are teachers. I have some friends that are substitutes, So not only do I see some wild tomfoolery on Reels, but I have friends telling me their stories on this. I have people, boots on the ground, all right, hot on the scene, going through this stuff. And hearing and seeing this just makes me think like, damn, dude, thank God I graduated when I did. And if you're in this age range that I'm ranting about, don't worry, okay? I'm not generalizing this to every single soul. You'll know if I'm talking about you, but if you disagree with a lot of what I'm ranting about, then you're good, you're chilling. I'm complaining about a specific bunch, but I know this isn't everyone, but it's a lot of you, so. Speaking of bunches, I was in the unlucky bunch, the infamous class of 2020. Now, I hope we're all old enough to remember 2020 vividly. We had a minor little small sickness going around, the coronavirus, nothing major. But this virus shut down school right in the middle of it, all right? I left for spring break and never came back. I've been on spring break for 5 years now. It's getting a little stale right now, I can't lie to you. But it was tragic on the last day of school. Like, apparently it was the last day. I had no clue, but my lab, we were in the library and I saw that all the school computers came packaged with Minecraft Education Edition. So we all found this out at the last second and said, dude, after spring break, we're gonna connect through LAN, the way God intended, and do a school-wide SMP. It'll be an awesome little senior SMP project going on the side. And it clearly never happened. That story had nothing to do with the video. I just get sad when I think about that little detail. It would have been good, but anyway, my senior year got cut short and I had to finish the rest of the work online. And I use the word work very loosely. This pandemic was very destabilizing for everyone. Nobody knew how to navigate it, and our poor teacher had to teach in these conditions, and nobody really prepped for a homeschool format. So not to get anyone in trouble, but I think I only had 1 out of my 7 teachers actually send us work to do, and every other teacher just gave us A's to finish off the semester on a high note. But yeah, public schools here were not prepped. They didn't have the infrastructure to homeschool all their students. So I left school in March and basically stayed home until online graduation in May, and it was depressing to me at the time. But then I saw how class of 2021 had to go to school, and they did like a hybrid, like 2 weeks on campus and 2 weeks online, and it was just so stupid. And apparently even on campus it was like a super limited capacity as to how many people can be on property at a given time. And I don't know how long this was the case because some schools were these mixed modes, some were fully online, but something happened in these times, all right? I need you to stay with me now. I don't know exactly what year middle schools and high schools fully went back to like fully campus normal operation, but in between that time, kids' brains just became fried. There was a shift in behavior, demeanor, and just, I don't know, there was just a vibe switch, okay? And it sounds funny coming from me because I'm only 23, right? I'm also Gen Z, but I don't think it's crazy or unfair to say that like a late 90s to maybe 2003 Gen Z is a different breed to a 2004 to later year Gen Z. kind of kid, all right? Throughout COVID, it just feels like teens forgot how to socialize, in person. They became chronically online. Twitter was a nightmare to be around in these times. If you were there, you remember. And people just became so passionate about shit that didn't matter. Content creators were getting canceled and outed for stuff that they did like 9 years ago that they'd already addressed. People were being an online activist for political moments that didn't concern them or they didn't really care about outside the internet. It just looked aesthetic at the time, posting an infographic on your story. Everyone remembers the Minecraft streamer era back in the pandemic with all the parasocial fan bases, and it wasn't just on Minecraft, I know, but people were just way more online, and I feel like people forgot how to act. I'm not saying Minecraft slop content in the pandemic are responsible for the downfall of Gen Z, but that's just what I would see from my point of view here on the sidelines. But when school was back to business as usual, it was just a train wreck. There was a new trend every week making schools look like a literal war zone. Student vandalizing bathrooms, students just straight up stealing stuff like whole ass projectors, the automatic towel and soap dispensers. I saw someone steal a teacher's lounge printer. Like, what are we doing? and one more trend for good measure. I saw a TikTok of a student kicking down a urinal until it detached from the freaking wall and then the pipes burst and flooded the bathroom. Straight up like 0.2 GPA activity. Straight up fatherless behavior. Unloved, unwanted little demons ruining just everyone else's day. And I will be mean. I will be rude because this is annoying. Call me unk, call me boring, but there's nothing funny of vandalizing other people's property. There's nothing funny of disturbing the peace and screaming in the middle of class for a TikTok. It's like students had a year off where they were fully online, no supervision, so obviously a majority of them cheated. It's okay, I'm not your dad, you don't have to lie to me, and a school year is a long ass time, so to lose that work ethic and develop one where you cheat your way through and half-ass the work you actually did submit when they come back to school in person, it's just miserable. More and more younger people are just straight up illiterate now. Also, they're socially awkward. They don't know how to hold conversation. All this to say, my little unk rant here, all that's just to say I'm really happy that I graduated when I did. I'm happy with the peers that I went to school with. I'm happy that they were the way that they were. Yes, I still had dickheads roaming around campus, but you'll get that anywhere. It was just never to this extent that I'm seeing right now. But my time in school was good. I don't know how I would have fared in today's climate, especially right now. My friends are teachers, and they're saying it's such a draining experience being a teacher. They're genuinely concerned with the future generation because of how lazy and illiterate and incompetent a lot of students are becoming. Nobody wants a real job. They just want to be YouTubers out the gate. So they're thinking, oh, why do I have to study statistics if I'm gonna be Twitch streaming? Like, no, you're not gonna make it in streaming right off the gate. You might in the future. I don't want to drag anyone down, but bro, at least try to get a structured life first, like, please. But yeah, the whole AI debacle is also getting worse. You know, my professor, the professors that I have now and my high school teacher friends are all spawning AI submissions a mile away, and students aren't even embarrassed about it anymore. You know, some students have gotten so accustomed to it where they've forgotten how to write essays without AI. They get a prompt. I saw someone on Twitter complaining that they got a 500-word essay prompt and they were genuinely crashing out. People are befriending AI too, and they go to AI therapy. Like, it's so bad, dude. And I'm not like an anti-AI guy, all right? Like, I think AI should be regulated. I think it's a little creepy when they impersonate real people, but AI Fortnite Darth Vader, I think that's funny. I can see humor in it, okay? I'm not a complete Scrooge, all right? I think AI is good when it's funny and harmless, all right? But AI tangent aside, I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with the current school climate. I have a couple semesters left into my bachelor's, but I'm glad I'm not scrambling and pissing myself whenever I get an essay because I don't know how to write one without AI. I'm glad I can meet people and hold conversation and be respectful despite worldviews, whether that be political or just general things. I'm glad I'm not a zombie to my phone and a slave to social media where I feel like I gotta document everything just for some internet points. Me personally, I feel like I graduated in a good year. Because not to get into politics, I absolutely could not care less, but seeing laws being placed and orders being placed on what to stop teaching in schools, my thoughts on that is just half of the curriculums that they're making schools stop teaching were still showing up on final exams, from my understanding, according to my younger friends. So a lot of them had to just hope for the best because half of their final exam was on material that they just straight up did not learn at all. And really quick, before you fact check me, if you care enough to do that, that might have been the case for just that one school year, since the orders were placed in the middle of it. But just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just glad that I had a normal high school experience, besides the pandemic cutting it short at the finish line. But I'm just thankful because I feel ahead, you know. I don't feel like I'm lacking in much. I feel like I got a whole package. People were nicer, you know. People were more intentional with how they moved in society. It wasn't as selfish. It didn't seem as gloomy. I feel like people these days, they just want to be a victim of something. People want something to worry about and to be angry at. And I just don't see the appeal of living like that. Just looking for stuff to be angry about and complain on Twitter or something. Again, I know not everyone is like this, and if you are a viewer of mine who is in the younger side in high school or whatever age, I'm not calling you a demon loveless rat. Okay, there's just a bunch of people and a bunch of videos of these kids that are just making life miserable for those around them that I just wanted to rant. But I know well enough that it isn't the entire majority. They're not all bad apples, all right? I know this. But I made this channel to talk and yap, man, and not be so organized with my thoughts all the time. I just want to ramble. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. But I think I'm done. I think I got it off my chest. Thank you so much for watching. I have more videos coming soon. I know I took a little break. I want to make videos that I want to make. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't want to just pump out commentaries that I don't care about just to get videos out there and inflate the channel. Sure, if I did pump out content like crazy, I'd probably have more subscribers and I would probably get more views, but I want to do this for fun. I recently got done beating Expedition 33 and it was one of the best gaming experiences I've had in many, many years, and I want to write a video about it and upload it here soon. And there's other commentaries I want to make as well. I have some jotted down on my notes, but I'm actually getting ideas. You know, there's things I want to say now, so the drive is there now for me to make videos, but if there's nothing there, I don't want to just upload a random video I don't care for. But anyways, all that yap aside, if you made it to the end and didn't click off up to this point, thank you so much for watching. Take care and be well.